Now, they have also gone to pay somebody to come and distort our history as against what our palace has put forward as their own history. That's why you will never see them to get palace sources. They will claim that you should go and look for palace sources. But why the question is that when you wanted to claim Owo, why didn't you look for palace sources that is already established? Tó wà lórí OSRC. Why didn't you look for that? Tí ọba Ọ̀wọ̀ sanction, kí ló tẹ̀ lọ wá yẹn? Tí àwọn professors tó jẹ́ ọmọ Ọ̀wọ̀ tán sanction, why didn't you look for such history? Why were you looking for a young to come and say such history? See, ẹ ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn pé Benin don cast with their lies. So, according to this documentary and the Awori Saxon, you're welcome. Please send me a request. This documentary and what has been written from 2 academic papers that I'm using, it is said in one tradition, because 2 of the academic papers, 2 traditions in any one call. One tradition says that Ojugbelu Arere pé ọmọ ìkan nínú àwọn ọmọ mẹ́jọ tí Ọ̀rúnmìlà bí ni, pé òun ni bóyá òun ni last child tí Ọ̀rúnmìlà bí. In fact, in this tradition, they talk about how the name Oro came to be Oro, why they call him Oloro, somebody that you have to honor or you have to respect. They talked about the tradition that from his childhood, I don't know what they said happened, and everybody used to honor him like that. Kò sẹ́ni tó máa ń tàpá sí ọ̀nà tó gbé wá láti ọ̀run tí Olódùmarè fún. Now, in this second tradition, they said he was a son of Oduduwa, and that when people were migrating out of Ife, some people said that it was during the time Oromia was going to Igodomigodo. Some people said it was not the time Oromia was going to Igodomigodo, that the migration happened differently. So they left Ife and migrated towards what we know as Owo today. Owo. Now, some time ago, ìkan nínú àwọn ará bíi tó pera ẹ̀ ní àwọn tí ní ká má máa dárúkọ wọn. Olójú fòfòfò torí Catalan map tí ń sá kiri tó wá gbaṣẹ́ ọ̀ràn táyé ti gbélé lọ́wọ́ kó máa sọ̀sọ́kúsọ. Ó sọ wípé àwọn náà wọ́n ń pe Ọ̀wọ̀ ní Ọ̀rọ̀, pé Yorùbás don't pronounce Ọ̀wọ̀ as Ọ̀rọ̀. My people, in Ondo State, we do not call Ọ̀wọ̀, we call it Ọ̀rọ̀ in our own language. In fact, ìyá tó bí bàbá ìyá mi ọmọ Ọ̀rọ̀ ni, because tó bá kí àwọn ọmọ mi débì kan, wọ́n á wá kì í lọ sí ilé ìyá bàbá wọn, wọ́n rí ọmọ lọ́rọ̀ má dẹ̀. Ọ̀gá mi ní ọ́fíìsì, who is a director, who was my pastor, okay, wọ́n ti gbé iṣẹ́ director lẹ̀, is married to an Ọ̀wọ̀ man, and she's a professor of Yoruba vocabulary creation. We call it terminologies. So this woman, tó bá ń kí ọkọ ẹ̀, á kì í lédè Ọ̀wọ̀, á ní ọmọ lọ́rọ̀ má dẹ̀. Kìnìkan tẹ́ jẹ́ rẹ́dún, tẹ́ jẹ́ ẹ̀rọ. So àwa òun sọ pé awọ, arọ làwa máa ń pe awọ, tí ẹ̀yin ọ̀dà Yorùbá, especially Western Yorùbá, máa ń pè ní awọ. Awọ is arọ in Yoruba, in Ondo State. Whether Ondo dialect, Ọ̀wọ̀ dialect, Ìkálẹ̀ dialect, Ìlàjẹ dialect of Yoruba, it is arọ. Ọmọ lọ́rọ̀ yéé jarọ ẹdun. Ọmọ lọ́rọ̀ yéé jarọ ẹdun. So, nígbà tí bọ̀dá olójú fòfòfò táyé gbéṣẹ́ lé lọ́wọ́ yẹn tó sọ wípé kò sí that sound, what we call the voiced velar fricative ra, ó ní kò sí nínú Yorùbá language nítorí pé ó fẹ́ discredit Ọlábọ́lá. Àwa ará Ondo, àwa ará àwọn ọmọ Ọ̀wọ̀ fúnra wọn náà ń pe ìlú wọn ní Ọ̀rọ̀. It is not Benin. Ọ̀rọ̀ ni wọ́n ń pe ìlú wọn, kì í ṣe Ọ̀wọ̀. Rhino, whatever you call yourself, Rhino country, I think you are because Ondo is Idu land. Mbolotiri Idu, you are mad. Mbolotiri,
Sister Asha,
ma.
be right. You know, Idu was a Yoruba man.
Except does he accept that? Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fún wọn ní kinní yẹn mà.
Sherry, tó bá ti fẹ́ máa sọ irú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ máa po kinní mọ́ ṣúgà mọ́ ògì fún wọn. Ẹ jẹ́ àpò poison mọ́ ògì fún wọn. Idu was a Yoruba man.
Go. Please, let's power tap.
He was a Yoruba man. Ogiefa, they were all Yorubas. All your Ogiamen were all Yorubas.
Now, the Owo people call their town Oro.
I don't give una content now. What una go dey talk? Yes, I don't give una content.
It is not Benin people that call Owo Oro. It is Owo people that call their town Oro. And Ondo, Akure, Ilaje, Ikale people, they call them by that name Oro, because I have said it that Awo is Aro in Ondo State. Then another thing, in my dialect, Igbale is Oro. Kubuera, where are you? Mbolowa is Kubuera. So we have that voiced velar fricative in the Yoruba language. So àwọn ọlọ́wọ̀ fúnra wọn náà ń pera wọn ní ọ̀rọ̀. So wọ́n wá nígbà tí Òjúgbélú Arẹrẹ kúrò ní Ifẹ̀. Ó kúrò nífẹ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀, àwọn ìyàwó, àwọn ọmọ àtàwọn èèyàn wọn tí wọ́n jọ wà ní the same clan. They migrated together. And when they migrated, as they were going, they got to a place tí wọ́n ń pè ní Upafa. Kó tó di pé wọ́n dé Upafa, wọ́n dé Emure. Ẹni tó bá mọ Ọ̀wọ̀ lénìí, tó mọ ìlú yẹn dáadáa, ẹ rí i pé tẹ bá ti fẹ́ yà sí Ọ̀wọ̀ báyìí lẹ́ẹ̀ ti rí Emure ilé. Please, let's power tap. Ẹ rí Emure. Ìlú yẹn ó ti wà ńbẹ̀ tipẹ́tipẹ́. Ó sì bá àwọn Yorùbá ńbẹ̀. Àmọ́ tó yẹ pé Ifẹ̀ náà ti wá tán settle síbẹ̀ yẹn. They met them in that Emure because they were the ones who welcomed them. Nítorí pé àwọn Yorùbá kan náà ti wà níbi tí Ọ̀wọ̀ wà lénìí. Ìlú Ọ̀wọ̀ tẹ̀ ń wò lénìí Uloro. It was called Uloro. Kìdẹ̀ ń ṣe Ọ̀wọ̀ nìkan ni Uloro wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo ti sọ kínní rí pé Ọba Ilé in Akure used to be called Uloro. Ìlú tí wọ́n pè ní Ìṣàrun, tí wọ́n sọ pé ti rí ihò eléèrú. Ìlú yẹn kó tó di pé ó di Ìṣàrun. Uloro náà máa ń pè tẹ́lẹ̀. For my investigation, it is said that anywhere you see Uloro in Yoruba land, anywhere that most Yoruba towns that were settled earlier than the towns we have today were all called Uloro or Udoko in the past. Uloro abi Udoko in the past. Till tomorrow, Shasha side of Akure is still called Uloro in Yobaile. Till tomorrow, the Udoko clan of Ondo Kingdom, they are still called Udoko. Udoko. This is how, one of the ways you know these people that migrated from Ife is that when you start hearing Udoko, Uloro, they are Yorubas who migrated earlier than their other bands from Ife. Wọ́n ní Ẹlẹ́rẹ̀kẹ́ Gbàǹdú sọ pé àwọn náà wọ́n wà ní Uloro tó wà put it there. Àwọn ni àwọn wà, I said put it there. That's not your dress, it's mine. Pé àwọn náà wọ́n kọ́kọ́ wà ní Uloro tí àwọn tó tẹ̀lé Òjúgbélú Arẹrẹ tí wọ́n bá ní Ọ̀wọ̀ is a lie. It's a lie. Because in the history we have, kì í ṣe Ọ̀wọ̀ nìkan, kì í ṣe Ulóyèrè yẹn nìkan àwọn Yorùbá wà. In the Olùkùnmi migration, wọ́n sọ pé àwọn Olùkùnmi yẹn, àwọn ni wọ́n kọ́kọ́ settle sí Udo, and to some part of ibi táwọn fúnra wọn ń pè ní Ìgòdòmígòdò. so Uloro ìgbà tí àwọn Òjúgbélú Arẹrẹ tí wọ́n á dé ibì kan tí wọ́n ń pè ní Ùpàfà, Òjúgbélú Arẹrẹ wá kú, ibẹ̀ ló kú sí. Ìlú tó ń pè ní Ùpàfà yẹn ibẹ̀ ló kú sí. So láti Ùpàfà, Ẹdun àbí Ọ̀bọ gẹ́gẹ́ tá ń pè lọ́bọ, òun ló wá líìdì wọn, tó líìdì wọn lọ sí present day ibi tá ń pè ní Ọ̀wọ̀. Òun ni àwọn Ọ̀wọ̀ tí wọn ò fi ń jẹ ẹran ẹdun, tó fi máa ń sọ pé ọlọ́rọ̀ ọmọdé yéé jẹ ẹran ẹdun, ọmọ ọlọ́rọ̀ ọmọdé yéé jẹ ẹran ẹdun. That's why they don't eat ọ̀bọ, àwọn jẹ ẹran ẹdun. Ibi tí kìíní yẹn ti wá.
Ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rẹ́pọ̀ sísà mi ibi tẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ dé yẹn mú sùúrù. Ṣé rí àwọn Benin wọ́n máa ń jẹ ẹran ọ̀bọ.
Ó tán.
Ṣé rí delicacy ní ọ̀bọ fún wọn. Mo ṣe mọ̀ pé mo sọ fún yín pé mo ti fẹ́ wọn rí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Ẹni tí mo fẹ́ yẹn ó háìdí ẹran ọ̀bọ tó lọ rà tó sẹ́ndì wọn láti Nàìjà, ó dẹ̀ háìdí ó wá ń purọ́ fún mi pé bushmeat ni. Meanwhile èèyàn kan ti sọ fún mi pé if your oga bring bushmeat no dey mind am o, wípé na monkey meat nǹkan kan. Later mo wá find out pé ẹran ọ̀bọ ni, but mi ò jẹ́ kó ṣe ẹran yẹn, so they eat ọ̀bọ's meat. Delicacy ni fún wọn.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi jẹ́ gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o.
Àwọn Benin wọ́n ń jẹran ọ̀bọ. Let them come and deny it.
Benin ń jẹran ọ̀bọ, Ọ̀wọ̀ ń jẹran ọ̀bọ, ọmọ ọlọ́rọ̀ yéé jẹran ẹdun. Ní Ọ̀wọ̀ wọn ò láyà ẹ̀kan jẹran ọ̀bọ, wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ fi kan ẹnu. In fact, it is in their nǹkan tá a fi ń kì wọ́n ni ọmọ ọlọ́rọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹran ẹdun. Ṣùgbọ́n lónìí Benin is claiming Ọ̀wọ̀. Ọ̀wọ̀ that does not share anything with you. You are claiming that they came from you. How can somebody who does not even eat what you eat come from you? Ìwọ ọ̀bọ wèé jẹ́ wèé jọ̀bọ mẹ́ẹ̀mà bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn ṣé jọ̀bọ tèmi kọ̀bọ jẹ́.
Benin jọ̀bọ o.
Èyí tẹ́ ń jọ̀bọ ń jọ̀bọ. Àwọn ará Benin jọ̀bọ, àwọn ará Benin yéé jọ̀bọ. Ẹ̀wọ̀n wá fi àwọn ó dá wa àwa yéé jọ̀bọ. Àwa ò ń jọ̀bọ. Wọ́n ní ọmọ ọlọ́rọ̀ yéé jẹran ẹdun. So ibi tí wọ́n ṣe ń kì wọ́n yẹn ibi tó ti wá nìyẹn, nítorí wípé wọ́n nígbà tí Òjúgbélú Arẹrẹ kú tán ní Ùpàfà and they needed to move forward. It was a monkey that led them to where we know today as Ọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n bá àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀, mo ti sọ yẹn ṣáájú. They met people there called Uloro. Now Benin people have been running wild on the social media saying àwọn ní Uloro yẹn. Èmi ò mọ ibi tí Benin ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹ́ Uloro. Kò sí nínú history yín.
What is the etymological meaning of Uloro in Benin o?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ká wá sọ fún wa nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Uloro wọ́n tún lè náwọn làwọn ní torí pé ó ní wú. Àbí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tó máa ń larí mọ́lẹ̀ yẹn tún lè sọ fún wọn pé kò sí wú ní Yorùbá language. Àwọn olódo. So ìdí nìyẹn tí àwọn Ọ̀wọ̀ fi ń jẹran ẹdun, nítorí pé it was a monkey that led them to the present day, that led Imade, the son of Òjúgbélú Arẹrẹ, that became the first ọlọ́rọ̀ of Ọ̀wọ̀. Imade. That's why when you go to Ọ̀wọ̀, there's Imade College. I've been there. I've been to Ọ̀wọ̀ several times. So mo mọ Ọ̀wọ̀ dáadáa. Àwọn ìyàwó ẹ̀gbọ́n ọkọ mi ọmọ Ọ̀wọ̀ ni wọ́n. So I've been to that place. Mo láwọn èèyàn sọ́wọ́. So that's why the Ọ̀wọ̀ people, that's why Imade, the name Imade College. Imade yẹn ni ọmọ Òjúgbélú Arẹrẹ tó jẹ́ pé òun gangan ló ìwà dé Ọ̀wọ̀, nítorí pé Òjúgbélú ò dé Ọ̀wọ̀, Ùpàfà ló kú sí. So ẹdun yẹn ló wá lead àwọn tó kù àti Imade tó lead wọn dé ibi tá à ń pè ní Ọ̀wọ̀ lónìí tí wọ́n sì bá àwọn tí wọ́n ń pè ní Ìlóró ńbẹ̀. Ìgbà tó sì débẹ̀, they settled, and Imade became the first Ọlọ́rọ̀ of Ọ̀wọ̀. Now, this story I'm talking about is around 10th century, between 10th century and 11th century AD, because according to the history and the documentary, these people said that wọ́n ti found the Ọ̀wọ̀ kó tó di pé Ọ̀rànmíyàn dé Benin. That is the history of Ọ̀wọ̀. Pé àwọn ti found the ìlú àwọn, pé ìlú àwọn ti wà in existence kí Ọ̀rànmíyàn tó dé Benin. So, if a town or a kingdom had been settled before the person that settled your own what you call Benin today, because there was no Benin in history, it was Igodomigodo. And from the history, your own traditions, Ọ̀rànmíyàn did not enter Igodomigodo until Ewedo. Say Ọba Ewedo. Ọba Ewedo òun ló sign the Ekekpaga Treaty. Òun ló Uzama òun ní Eweka first ti rule. Uzama ní ọmọ Eweka ti rule. Uzama until Ewedo, which is the fourth king of Benin. Òun ló padà conquer city yẹn tó wọlé tó sign the Ekekpaga Treaty. So, if this is history of Ọ̀wọ̀, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ gbogbo ará ilé, ẹ bá mi bi àwọn ará Benin lónìí, why are you claiming Ọ̀wọ̀ and saying you founded Ọ̀wọ̀? How did you found a place that was founded before your own city was founded? How? Wọ́n nítorí ugbọ̀rọ̀. In the history of Ọ̀wọ̀, àwọn Ọ̀wọ̀ ń claim pé àwọn náà wọ́n found ibi tẹ́ ń pè ní Ugbó Ọ̀wọ̀, that they are the ones who founded it. That it was not just Ọ̀wọ̀ they founded, that they also went ahead and founded other places that are now in present-day Edo State. It is state creation that took these places away from Ọ̀wọ̀ people. So, these people said that their towns, that's their documentary, is on OSRC. So, part of that documentary is on YouTube. I am going to beg Drag and Violence, please. I don't know how can we tag people on YouTube videos? I don't know how to download from YouTube. Maybe you can help us download. It's a 9-minute documentary.
Send me the link. I can do that, ma.
Okay, I will send you the link. It's a 9-minute documentary. I am going to show it here.
So I will download it, then I'll put it on the Telegram so that people can.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. So, my people, part of this documentary that I'm saying is on OSRC is also on YouTube about Ọ̀wọ̀. I am going to be posting it very soon. Maybe by tomorrow, I will send the link to Drag and Violence, and it can help us to get it so that we can post it for our people's viewing, so that you can see it yourself that I am not lying. You will watch the video and hear from the palace source of Ọ̀wọ̀. Now, lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, the king of Ọ̀wọ̀ came out and said that some of the ivory artifacts tí àwọn Benin claim pé àwọn náà wọ́n ní pé kìí ṣe ti Benin, that some of those ivory works that are being claimed on the internet, posted everywhere, àìjẹjà power tap, táwọn Benin claim pé ti tiwọn ni, pé àwọn náà wọ́n ní pé kìí ṣe ti Benin. I'm also looking for that video. I'm going to post it. So àwọn Benin claim àwọn ivory works ní pé ti tiwọn ni.
Àwọn wo ló ni wọ́n sọ pé kò ń ṣe tiwọn? Àwọn wo ló ń reclaim ẹ̀? Àwọn wo ló tún counter claim ẹ̀?
Àwọn Ọ̀wọ̀, the Ọlọ́rọ̀ has come out to say that Benin is lying.
Ọ̀wọ̀ ló ní gbogbo nǹkan yẹn, kò ń ṣe Benin.
So the Ọlọ́rọ̀ came out and said that Benin is lying, that they are claiming their ivory work. Pé àwọn náà wọ́n ní ivory work yẹn kì í ṣe ti Benin. Yes. Wọ́n ti ń claim ẹ̀ lórí social media. They've stolen their ivory and they are claiming it's their own. So I'm going to look for that video of Ọlọ́rọ̀ that he made recently to call them out. Ó call wọn out. Ó sọ pé ivory work àwọn Ọ̀wọ̀ ni wọ́n ń claim. So for some of you, I want to say some, please come up. I think okay. For some of you Benin people who have been claiming that the way our people dressed, that they got it from Benin. How are you sure you didn't get how you dress from our? Because until 1897, the pictures that the British took of Oba Ovorame when he was captured, your ancestors were naked. So, and as at this time, we have a report in one of the Oyinbos that visited your kingdom and eventually visited Ishekiri land, who claimed that you guys were naked while the Ishekiri people were well dressed in silk. So if as at 1897 your ancestors were naked and it was only the Oba's family that was clothed, why are you claiming that it was you who gave Owo that dressing? Why? Because as at 1897 we are talking about, àwọn Ọ̀wọ̀ máa ń wọṣọ, kò sí ìran Yorùbá tó naked rí, kò sí ìran Yorùbá. In fact, I'm going to post the picture, is here. The picture, tẹ́ bá wo baba ńlá ìdí, tẹ́ bá wo lagalanga tó wà ń di àwọn ọkùnrin wọn, lagalanga wọ́n gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ síta. Àwọn British burú gan o. These British people.
ẹ send the telegram àgbẹ̀ sí big screen bíbá.
Okay, ẹ jẹ́ kí n mi ò ní tí n bá ní kí n send ẹ̀. Okay, ẹ dúró, ẹ jẹ́ kí n send ẹ̀. Sister Awori Saxon, please, if you have anything to say, can you come up and say it so that I can quickly send what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so Ekuwadio, hello everyone. So basically what happened with that thing, there was a lot of interaction between our kingdom.
Osas Wells Arras. I'm going to post that picture now. Wàhálì lagalanga wọn bàbá ńlá ẹ níta.
So there was a lot of interaction between Owo and Benin, and a lot of those interaction included quote and unquote what you can call knowledge exchange, as well as exchange through trades, right? So some of the what do you call it? The artifacts that were stolen, that the British stole, actually belonged to Owo. In terms of like the intellectual property with regards to who made it and how it's made, were developed in Owo. And those then through trade and knowledge exchange went to Benin as well. And part of what we're actually taking also belonged to Owo. There is a book. Unfortunately, that book is on Audible. I don't have the paper copy. I have only the Audible version. The book is called Loots. I'll find a way to see if I can get excerpts out of it on Audible and put that on the Telegram group for us. The book is essentially about the theft of ivory, what they call Benin ivory. But as they were breaking it down, they kind of explain how
Awori Saxon, ẹjọ ẹ má bínú, tẹ bá fẹ́ convert irú audio yẹn sí text náà sí ìwé mo lè bá yín ṣe náà tó bá yẹ pé nǹkan tí ó pọ̀ ni.
It's on Audible ni olóṣì làwọn ará Amazon yẹn. Okay. It's in, that Audible app inú ẹ̀ ló wà. So I don't know how to.
Drag and violence. I've posted it. Please.
All right.
Can you show us? Can you help us to show it?
Yeah, Benin is Owo, and Owo is also Benin. Orí yín ti bàjẹ́ lọ́rùn yín. Owo is Yoruba, full-blooded Yoruba láti òkè délẹ̀. Benin, I don't know what you guys are, but yeah. Okay, somebody says I can transcribe using code or ChatGPT. So if I upload the Audible file, it will convert it to text. Let me see if I can try that now.
So let me see this screen, ma.
I'm trying to do it. Okay, ó ti ṣe. Ó ti ṣe. Ó yẹ ẹjọ́ ẹ bá wa ṣí. Ìwọ tó ní mò ń parọ́ yẹn, wàá rí lagalanga àwọn òbí ẹ o. You can see the lagalanga of your paper, of your ancestors. Ẹ wo ẹ bá mi wo písàn dáadáa, ẹ wo písàn dáadáa. Báwo lẹ ṣe lè bá wa zoom ẹ̀ káwọn èèyàn wá rí dáadáa. That's the Ovorame.
Má jẹ́ kán
Kí
gbé
ni
yín
wọ́n
wálẹ̀.
ti máa zoom ẹ̀ sìn?
Má jẹ́ kán gbé yín wálẹ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká wò ó, kọ́mọ́ lọ gbé wa wáyà kàkà sáré glance through it.
A ti rí grandfather kí ló ń pẹ̀?
Ṣé ẹ ti rí lagalanga wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àwọn great grandfather.
Àwọn tó ní àwọn náà wọ́n dá ọ̀wọ̀ nìyẹn. Ọ̀wọ̀ tí ń wọṣọ ọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀wọ̀ bọ́ wọn ṣe rí. Wọn ò gbọ́ kankan. Ọba wọn nìkan ló faṣọ oró tó fi bẹ́ṣíìtì ọ̀pá bẹ́ṣíìtì 7 feet Emma King's bed. Òun lọ́ba wọn fi ró. Bẹ́ṣíìtì tó sì fi ń ró yẹn wọn tí stop ẹ̀dì sí ìgò festival yẹn bẹ́ṣíìtì yẹn ni wọ́n wé mọ́ra kiri.
Even ìgbà tí Awólọ́wọ̀ lọ sí ṣáìdì
Ṣé ẹ ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o?
Ṣé fẹ́ gbọ́? Ìgbà tí Awólọ́wọ̀ lọ ṣáìdì Éká ilé
Ṣé ẹ ti rí o? Now, that one that said I was lying, did you see the blockers of your ancestors?
Àgbọ̀yìn mà o.
Wọ́n ti gungi eléèrà. In fact, kì í ṣe eléèrà nìkan, ó gungi sójà ant, ẹgbẹ́ sójà ant tí máa ń gba ṣòkòtò lé dídì èèyàn. Nǹkan tí ń bì ní gùn ni. Ó yẹ kẹ́tì. Ẹ bá wa gbé kalẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. You can drop it now. So, you can see now what I was saying. Ṣé ẹ gbọ́ mi? Ṣáwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ mi ṣá?
Àti ń gbọ́ yín.
Can you hear me?
Àti ń gbọ́ yín.
Okay. Now, ṣé ẹ ti rí báyìí? Àwọn tí wọ́n ní àwọn náà wọ́n colonize wa. Àwọn náà wọ́n dá ọ̀wọ̀. Àwọn ọ̀wọ̀ tí ń wọṣọ. Ọ̀wọ̀ wọ́n ti found ọ̀wọ̀ before kí Benin tó jẹ́ Benin. Today, they are everywhere on the social media saying that they founded Yoruba land tí wọ́n ti ń wọṣọ. In fact, there were some Europeans who testified that Ishekiris were wearing clothes, Benin people were not wearing clothes. This was 1897. 1897. Òun lélẹ́yìí o, àwọn ará bí ò wọṣọ. Àwọn tí wọ́n ń fún àwa ọmọ aládé tí wọ́n sọ pé àwọn náà wọ́n colonize àwa ará Ondo state nìyẹn. Àwọn tó yẹ pé dádì wọn bàbá wọn lókòsì ìta gbangba ló wà as at 1897. Ọba wọn lọ wá bedsheet, Ọlọ́run ló mọ ibi tó ti rí bedsheet tó wé mọ́ ìdí, while the others were naked. So, Benin people, ẹ̀yin lẹ ní ká kà yín o torí òfin yẹn ni táwọn sì ní ta bá ka ẹrú inú ẹrú ó bàjẹ́. A ti kà yín lónìí. Awori Saxon, please continue with what you were saying.
No, I'm trying to see if there's a way I can do what they are saying.
Okay.
So I can, as we always do now, bring receipts.
Kì í ṣe General Hospital nìkan dé Ankara. As at 1896, Lagos State had seen Èkó ti rí iná because I went for a seminar on renewable energy. Sometime, was it in September or August? And in that seminar, we looked at the history of electricity in Nigeria, how Nigeria got electricity, how we got electricity. So we looked at that history. As at 18 ṣé 1880 something ni Èkó ti ní electricity kan tá à ń pè ní electricity Èkó ti ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn kan wọ́n sì gbé làgàlàǹgà wọn síta. Now not just Lagos having electricity alone as at the 18th century tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn in Ondo town wọ́n ti fi iron sheet wọ́n ti fi ń kọ́lé wọ́n ti fi ń kan ilé in Ondo town lára ibi tí ìlú tí àwọn Benin claim pé àwọn náà wọ́n found àwọn náà wọ́n civilize. Go and collect it from your dad.
The West I won.
In fact, it is not 1890. I'm talking about 1850 something. The first house tí wọ́n fi head tí wọ́n fi iron sheet tí wọ́n fi roof. Take. Ní Ondo town ni wọ́n ti ní iron sheet wọ́n ti fi ń roof ilé. Ìyá bàbá dádì mi ó ta aṣọ ó máa lọ ta aṣọ òfì wọ́n á lọ you are disturbing me about life. Wọ́n ti lọ ń ta aṣọ kì í ṣe pé wọ́n kàn ń wọ aṣọ lásán wọ́n ti ń ta aṣọ to foreigners. Ìyá bàbá mi ti ń ṣe foreign business àwọn ará bí làgàlàǹgà wọ́n tò tẹ̀lé ọba wọn wọ́n gbé làgàlàǹgà síta. Those are the people claiming they founded Owo, they founded Ikale, they founded everywhere. All the people you are claiming to have founded, no, did I say you should collect? All the people you are claiming to have founded, they were wearing clothes in history while you were showing the world the level, how strong and big your làgàlàǹgà was. Abẹ́rẹ́jú ayé abẹ́ẹ̀rí. As at 1500 àwọn ọ̀wọ́ ti wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n lọ trade. Now one thing I have discovered is that ṣẹ́ra wọn even in history, Sister Lola, thank you. Those who went to trade in Akure, in all those places in history, the places they are claiming today, those who went there to trade were not even these commoners who were not wearing clothes. It was the Ife people that came with the family that came with Oromiyan. Àwọn yẹn, they are the royals of Benin. Àwọn ni wọ́n máa ń wọṣọ, àwọn ni wọ́n máa ń lọ káàkiri tí wọ́n lọ ń trade. One of the reasons tí many of them ti settle sí other parts of Yoruba land tí wọ́n integrate is because they actually were Yoruba people. That's my theory. They were actually Yoruba people because kò possible káwọn tó gbé làgàlàǹgà wọn síta kó jẹ́ pé àwọn náà lọ sí Èkó lọ trade, àwọn náà wá sàkúrẹ́ wá trade, àwọn náà lọ sí Èkìtì lọ trade, kò possible. Àwọn tó tẹ̀lé Ọ̀rànmíyàn lọ sí Ifẹ̀, àwọn descendants tí wọ́n yẹn, àwọn ni wọ́n lọ káàkiri lọ trade. So it is one of the reasons all of them tí wọ́n ṣe integrate sí gbogbo Yorùbá community tí wọ́n ti lọ trade, and today you cannot trace them. It's one of the reasons.
Good evening, Madam Asha.
Who is that?
Contribute.
Who are you?
Good evening, ma. Ekale
Good
Kushe.
evening.
I
Just
just
attending you.
you are playing tonight because I'm a proud of
I want to do this.
our
Let me hear
indigenous,
what somebody's telling me. You are a proud what?
a proud our indigene.
Thank you, sir. You are welcome.
Thank you, ma. I just want to thank you firstly for sharing light to our history. Firstly, I think last few days, me and some Benins, all those people, on their platform, we have
Oh, this
treated
is my own.
with that bastard or Jogbon Yemi with them, because I think then I'm the one that brought up the history of Owo for them when they are trying to claim that Benin was part of Owo was part of Benin, which I have to tell them that there's nothing like that, because we know our history in Owo. If you go to the Owo palace, we have a museum there where you can read about the event of Owo. Not only read, you can see things, materials being used in the olden days in Owo. Everything in the museum there. So I think then one of them trying to cajole and bring a video about a chief in Owo that made a video. And that video, the chief was saying that they came from Ife. So they now have to cut the video and say that the chief does not know what I'm saying. So I now have to tell them that you are saying the chief, you brought a video to counter me that truly Benin are not from Ife, they are from Benin. And then you brought a video that you have a video. And the video, the chief, our chief is saying they are from Ife. Only that they exchange cultural stuff with Benin's along some centuries. And you are now saying that the chief does not know what he's saying with Jogbon Yemi. Because I have to counter them about everything we are using. And then there is the fallacy, Owo does not dress like Benin. The only thing is, we only have a festival where we dress like that, where we have, but our daily dressing is of Yoruba. The only time the dressing match or look like Benin is when we are doing Google Festival. And that's just 1 month, not our daily dressing. It is not our daily dressing that if you come to our now, you see us dressing. No, nothing like that. It is during, and there are events that follow these things during those times.
Igogo festival, you don't even dress like Benin. I'm going to tell you the reason the king dresses like that for Igogo festival.
Yes.
It is to
There's a
depict.
reason for that. That's what I'm saying.
There's a reason for that. Kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n ń dress bí Benin.
At
Torí pé
all.
wọ́n fẹ́ depict ìyàwó ọba yẹn ni. Kí ọ̀rọ̀
Yes.
ọ̀sẹ̀ àbí kí lórúkọ ìyàwó ọba yẹn.
Yeah, Rose.
Wọ́n fẹ́ ọba yẹn fẹ́
The
depict, wọ́n
others
fẹ́
wives
dress bí
have
obìnrin
to,
ni.
that because the other wives are jealous of her.
Yes,
just
ọ̀rọ̀
the
ọ̀sẹ̀,
case.
yes. Yeah, let's talk about that ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀sẹ̀ when you finish.
So that's just the case. And then we talk about broadcasting, Agada. I have to tell them, we still have quarters. If you go to Iloro's Ora in Owo today, that's where they are doing this casting. We still have it, and they are still doing it till today in Owo. The Hagada, they have to short it and call their own Hada. And we call our own Hagada. And they have...
Agada náà ò dé pé Agada.
And there are things where we use Agada for. We don't just use Agada for, let me say, we are just using it for that. There are just things, maybe some occasions that we use Agada for. Agada is not a daily use. It's just from some occasions that we use Agada. And where they are doing this thing are still existing. In fact, I just left Owo yesterday because I went for Christmas. I just left Owo and still visit the same place where they are doing all these things in horror. If you get to Owo, you can ask Ora or Iloro. You see people doing it there. It is not an hidden things.
Ṣé ti gbọ́ orúkọ yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o? Ọ̀rà. Kí ni ọ̀rà sọ fún wa? Is ọ̀rà not proving to us that these people are from Ife? Ta ló ń jẹ́ ọ̀rà? Ṣé kìí ṣe ọ̀rà ń fẹ́ onílé iná ní jẹ́ ọ̀rà?
Ọ̀rá ń fẹ́ nìyẹn now.
There are quarters in Owo. Though we may have some things, maybe some names, but like I always tell them, our history is well detailed. The king, the chief, anybody has come out to say they are from Ife. The only thing I just say to this, I see Benin people as a coward that are just making noise online. Because I've told them, if they are sure, they should just enter Owo and make the claims. There's no need of coming to online. Nobody will save you from online. If you are nobody is doing anything on that. If you are sure and you have your proof and evidence, enter the Owo and make your claim. Then you will see what you have seen, what your forefather have seen when the things occur, because we still have the history with us. We deal with their forefathers so many times, not just one, not just two. We deal with their forefathers, and we drive them away till after we are controlling the Okeluses, the what they call Imorus, that is even
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
closer to Benin. Or control all those
Ìmọ̀rú,
things.
yes.
We have to drive them away. If they are sure they have their power, let them try it. Even with the Portuguese gun, they could not do it. With the Portuguese gun that was given to them as a
Yes.
slave, running
In
around, they could
fact,
not.
ní next life we are going to talk about the influence of Ọ̀wọ̀ ní orí àwọn àkókò lọ sí Èkìtì, because Ọ̀wọ̀
That's it
ó
now.
rúùlù
It was
lórí
Owo that
àwọn
stopped
àkókò
all
dé
those things
Èkìtì títí dé
from
àkókò
them.
Ẹ̀dó yẹn ni Ọ̀wọ̀
From
rúùlù.
Benin's.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
It was Owo that stopped Benin's from those Akokos area. It was Owo that
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
guide all those things. Today now I've just been surprised how Benin was just running around making some claims.
Even some
Making
part of
some
Èkìtì,
deeds. What
Ọ̀wọ̀
I
ruled
just
over
see
them.
to them is just like they just need attention. They are cowards that need attentions. And they want to they just need this thing for
Mama ṣe ọmọ mi lè ṣiṣẹ́ wá.
political strength. That's what I see. They want to gain a political strength along South. They want to corner South and then make it a political strength for themselves. That's what they are doing. There's nothing they are doing for that. That's just what they are doing. And then they are too small. Like I always tell them, I've engaged one Nusa, one Easy Omori, that if you are sure, just enter Okulisa that is even closer to you and make a nonsense claim instead of staying online and be running your mouth upward. That's how a real person do. Then they will show you what you don't want. Then you know your place. So that's just my submission. Well done. Thank you.
God bless you real good. Thank you for what you have come to tell us. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Igogo festival, because you mentioned it. Kí ló dé? Because nínú documentary yẹn, wọ́n sọ reason tí ọba Ọ̀wọ̀, tẹ bá rí ọba Ọlọ́wọ̀, tẹ bá rí on a normal day, agbádá Yorùbá ní òkò sọ́rùn. Adé tó ṣò pé Ifẹ̀ náà ti wáyé náà ni wọ́n máa ń dé. Gbogbo ọba Yorùbá ló sì nírú adé yẹn. If wọn ní of Ifẹ̀ nírú adé yẹn, adé tó máa ń ní kinní kan níwájú báyìí. Ọba Oǹdó ní,
Yeah.
apart from their ceremonial crowns, oríṣiríṣi adé ló wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, oríṣiríṣi adé ló wà nífẹ̀. Ọba Oǹdó ó ní adé, àwọn adé tó yẹ pé ọwọ́ baba ńlá wọn ni wọ́n ti rí, tó yẹ pé ó ní àwọn àsìkò tí wọ́n máa ń dé. So in that documentary, they told us why the Olowo, why he dresses like that for Igogo festival. Many of us do not know that Igogo festival is to celebrate one of the wives of the king of the Olowo in the past, who was called Oronse. It was said in their history that Oronse, abara méjì ni. Àwọn tó máa ń pè lábara méjì. Mi ò mọ̀ bóyá ọ̀rọ̀ ọgi náà pé ọ̀rọ̀ ọgi. But abara méjì, just like bí Ọya ìyàwó Ṣàngó bó ṣe jẹ́ abara méjì. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Oronse ṣe rí. So the Olowo met her in the bush, in the forest, and married her, brought her home. Although spiritual powers there, ó fi mú mọ́lẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ wá, she accepted to marry the Olowo. So she came with him home into the palace and became his wife. She now became his favorite wife. So I think she already said that the secret of what she was must not be told to anybody. But human beings, na mi ò mọ bí àwọn
So,
co-wife
Madam
sef.
Asha, when you finish making
Okay,
this point,
okay,
there's something I want to read out to us
okay, ma.
on that.
Let me round
That's
off.
everything. Yeah.
So it's called our co-wives. They followed her to the forest and discovered that she was not actually a human being. So there was a time there was an issue, and they now shared it to the world as secret. That was how Oronse out of anger that he was discovered that the Olowo must have told our co-wives a secret, not knowing that the Olowo did not do that. It was the co-wives that actually found out by themselves. So she went back to the forest and disappeared. That was how Igogo festival came to be. So during the Igogo festival, it is quite different from how Benin people dress. Actually, if you go and check how the Igogo festival, how the Oba of Benin dresses, and how the Oba of Owo dresses in the Igogo festival, you see the difference, because the Oba of Owo must plait his hair like a woman. The Oba of Washo
Yes,
bí
yeah.
obìnrin to honour ọ̀rọ̀, it is to
Yeah,
honour
to
that
honor
ọ̀rọ̀
you.
sẹ̀. I think before she disappeared, she made a promise to protect maybe the Ologo and his kingdom.
Yes, not
So
only
that's
the
why they do that
faith
festival
preserve.
to honour her.
All chiefs
And
have to clean their hair.
yeah,
All chiefs that are celebrating that thing, they have to clean
yes,
their hair.
yes, to celebrate that. It is to respect that woman. So they dress like women. It is not because they dress like Benin. So if you are Benin and you are hearing me, the Owo people do not dress like you. There's a reason why the Oba and his chiefs dress like that during that Igogo festival. It is to honor Oronse. Yes. That dressing actually depicts that they want to, that day they are dressing like women, how a woman dresses. So origin síkẹ́ẹ̀tì tẹ máa ń rí lọ ní ìdí ọba tó bá ti ń ṣe Igogo festival nìyẹn. It is not because they dress like Benin people. So Awori Saxon, please, you can continue.
Okay, so now, so basically what happened, because what I was looking for, I found it. Ife, the same fate tí Ife suffer náà ni Ọ̀wọ̀ suffer, because it was a kingdom that was deeply in the forest and was only known to people who actively traded with them. So in fact, records show that with regards to beads making and bronzing, like casting in general, when Ife became sort of went into decline, it was Owo that took over and actually ended up surpassing Ife in terms of the grandeur and the beauty that he added to what Ife started. So in fact, there was several records of Benin's attempted invasions. There's a very popular king or monarch in our history called I think his name is, you have to forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. It's Oshogbelu. Is that how they say it? So anyway,
Oshogboye.
Oshogboye, that's the one, yes. So this king, he secured a war against any kind of Benin invasion, and he reigned in the 17th century, right? So that's like the 1600s, right? So when our people were these people, whenever they are talking, you know how they always go on about how Portuguese gave them guns. So the Portuguese arrived there around 1495 or thereabouts, or 1490s, sha. So imagine the time period between that 1490s to the 1600s when Oshogboye would have reigned, and how much attempts would have been made that Oshogboye would eventually like completely make sure. In fact, records have it that they had no choice but to now stop any kind of attempt at invasion so that they will be able to trade in Owo. Because at that time, Owo now became, what Ife used to be, so to say. Don't forget that all this time, Oyo had not risen. Like Oyo that now became, that now the ascendancy of Oyo was not even happening. So all the action was in Owo at that time. And in fact, what's also recorded was that Owo would then go on to annex, other small eastern kingdoms under it. So places like Idoani Akoko. There are a few other, only those two that I always remember, but those two are key ones that I remember that would come under or was particular influence and authority. Then there is also a record of grand palaces in Yoruba country in the 1600s. Owo's palace was the second most grandeur. In fact, it is recorded that wọ́n pe kíní kan àwọn tá bá gbọ́ Yorùbá wọ́n pe kíní kan ní gbàgede. They said Owo had the grandest.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
Gbàgede is like a
gbàgede.
veranda, like the compound that surrounds the
Yes,
palace. Like Owo's, but there was no other palace that had the kind of gbàgede that Owo Palace had.
It is still the biggest Yoruba palace up till today.
So they were the ones that
Okay.
developed that kind of architecture of where you build a grand palace and you build extensive grounds around it as part of its, its own. This was what they added to, the grandeur of palaces and the monarchy in the Yoruba community of practice. So, and all of this time, throughout this period, you cannot find any influence of, this is what Benin added to either our culture or to its history, or even any record of conquest or whatever. Because, as I said before, there's a thesis. I'll ask Remy if he can help me find it. There's a guy who wrote a full thesis on just our kingdom. Oladipo Olugbade something. Oladipo Olugbade. So he talked about a lot of these things. He said, in our kingdom, they could not attempt it. Because if they did it, the opportunity to trade would be lost. And they wanted to keep trading. So there were no war captives to be had in our. However, what they would often do sometimes, tọ́ máa lọ tí àwọn èèyàn bá ń sùn tọ́ máa sáré lọ sí a small section of the community tọ́ máa lọ invade wọn tọ́ máa sá padà. There were several records of those, but even those were terribly resisted, right? So I don't like, where is the documented history of quote and unquote this influence or this power or whatever it is that they had over Owo? Is nowhere to be found. You cannot find, even if their own records, wherever they should produce it. But I read book one, they produce it. But I've not been able to find it anywhere. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that. And the day whenever I'm able to find that thesis, it's probably something that we should discuss because of the border that Owo shares with Benin, and which for some reason makes them feel that it's okay to suddenly appropriate Owo as part of theirs, rather than Owo remaining a Yoruba kingdom that it's always been and that it will be. Titi ayé ma fi parẹ́. Yeah.
Sister Awori Saxon, please, did we hear that? Did we hear that? They were even bandits in history. They were bandits. They were always trying to invade others. So, I don't know if there's this. Oh, she's so sorry. I am Yoruba first. Do you have anything to contribute to what we have been discussing so far?
Egushema. Actually, I don't think we should expect anything serious from people our ancestors call Ilu Ibinu. Our ancestors call them Ilu Ibinu. White man call them scavenger. So what do you expect from savage people like that? Moreover, we don't train these guys. We only give birth to that Iweka and we don't train him. He doesn't have our culture. He doesn't have our home training. So what do we expect from them? Everything they are proud of today, they don't own it. So I don't think we should just be giving them back to back and put them in their space. That relevancy they are looking for in politics or trying to use us to shine, by the time we mess them up, they will see that they are irrelevant. We will make them irrelevant. They want to be relevant, but we'll make them irrelevant. So I won't let their matters to bother me, and I don't think we should bother about them. They can't prove anything. I think when the proof of Ada and Abe was proven, now they shut up. Shebi, they've been saying that thing anywhere you find it is a symbol of Benin, blah blah blah. But now they can't come out and say it anymore. So we shouldn't expect anything from scavengers like them. They are savage. Thank you, ma.
Àwọn bandits. Ẹ ṣeun sà. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ àríṣẹ́ yín. Assad Bank àbí kí lẹ pera yín báyìí o. What do you have to say to us? Because you are here. Let's hear from you. We have just spoken about the history of Owo. Do you have anything to say to that? Unmute and speak to us. So. Okay, you are busy. So, Mommy Oma Batala, do you have anything to say? Kí ló fi ń gún mi? Mommy Oma Batala?
Sorry, I have something to say.
On my body.
Just like the questions.
All right, sir. You can go ahead. I think mommy is busy.
Because this question sometimes I always ask myself.
Do you want?
Because about Benin, their claim of empire, one town under them, this town is under them, this town is under them. So, there's I don't know, there's something I read about Oyo. There's this Alaafin, you have forgotten his name, when there's a war around Shaki, that you have to write in Europe that, okay, part of his country, that some people are taking part of his country, that they should come to his aid, something like that at that time. Now, the thing I want to talk about the Benin is this. When Europeans, just like Nigeria today, no matter how we look at it, we are still one country. Because I believe that this history we are saying, it is not that much in what we are saying presently. I think it's just because of the English word we had to it. Our forefathers too have their town like a country then. So if you have a kingdom, your kingdom is just like a country. If you have an empire, your empire is just like a country that you have to look after everything. So like Nigeria today now, assuming one country, let me say Niger or Cameroon, just want to take a part of Nigeria. I don't think Tinubu will wait till they come to Abuja before he react, because we see it's at the country. So this question always comes to my mind, that why do Benin did not restrict the British when they enter Lagos, since they said Lagos is under them? Why did the Benin did not restrict British when they enter Ishekiri land, they enter other land? Why do they have to wait till they enter Benin? Since these towns are under you, you control them, is your own property, and the British came, they entered those land, take them, you didn't restrict, you didn't do anything until they have to enter Benin. So that means those towns are not yours. Because the way you see them, they are not even yours. You only see them as a partner. You only see them as maybe a neighbor. So you don't see them as part of your country. Because if you see them as part of your country, the British will not enter Lagos. When they take up Lagos, that you won't fight. You won't only wait till they enter Benin, till when you start fighting. So for me, to that logic, I just see it that the Benins did not see all those places. This place that they are claiming today, this place they are claiming today, is just that they have their people who migrate out of Benin just for economic purpose. Maybe they just move out just to trade in some part of the town. Maybe some of their people leave Benin and go and trade in somewhere, because they have their people that have stayed in that place for, let me say, 200 years. They start claiming that place, that we have our people there. So once you have your people there now, it is your land. Just like we have our people in Brazil now. Then we start claiming the place because we have our people there. Or we have our people in London now. And the next thing we start claiming the place just we have our people there. Because our people go there just for what? For economic prosperity, just to better their life. But in the next future now, we can't be claiming London just because we have Yoruba there. So I think that's what the Benins are doing. Just because you have your people trading in a town does not mean that you are the owner of that town, and does not give you any privilege for you to claim that town. Because with what happened in 1897, that one have shown, because there's no way a town or a community will be under you, under your direct rule, and some external force will come to that community to take it away without you making any move. Because I don't think it's logical for that, from my own point of view. Because even all these kingdoms then, in our now, we have so many communities. We have Imure there, we have Ijere there, we have Ekpele there. If anything come to those communities, the whole will have to come out. Not that they have to wait till they come to the main town before they can defend. It have to be, since those hamlet town, they are under the rules. Then if any external forces coming to those places, then it's the responsibility of that, what they call, the central power to guide them, which is what we have in Nigeria today. No matter how we want to see it in Nigeria, if anything happens in any part of the country, that's why we have the Boko Haram, we have our military fighting them. The president will not wait until they enter Abuja, the headquarters, before I respond. If the president do that, that means we have assumed that those parts are not part of the country, which I think should be the logic should be applied, because I don't know why the Benin's we have to wait till the military enter Benin before they fight. If their claim is genuine that those towns they are measuring is under them and they are paying royalty to them, then when military and when European enter those towns and collect it, they should have make a claim and fight and resist before waiting for European to enter Benin at that time. So that's just my own, let me say, thinking and logical response to Benin's false claims. Thank you.
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
We can now.
But if you there, anybody? Has this brother finished?
I repair, hang on me when
No,
Oromila stop speaking.
when he was speaking, I think I was motion Kolowo. I was hearing him, but I was doing something. So, bro, when she saw Oloni. All right. But but we are going to continue the history of Owo. From there, we will now zero in on Ikale in our next live stream. Mi ò mọ nǹkan tó ṣe Bro Busuyi tí wọ́n fi go live lẹ́yìn ó dàgbé bóyá wọ́n rest. So I don't know.
ẹ jẹ́ kí n bá yín parí ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú a
Ẹ jẹ́ bá
statement
wa dá sí.
from Baba Akintoye's book. The history of our kingdom illustrates all this most clearly. Geographically, Owo is the closest Yoruba kingdom to Benin. Of all Yoruba kingdoms, Owo bears the strongest traces of distinctly Benin culture. Ṣé mo pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ knowledge exchange and trading lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn?
Yes.
But Owo
Yes.
was never conquered or ruled by Benin. In fact,
Okay.
Owo saw itself as Benin's rival. So despite their guns and whatnot, from the reign of Olowo Oshogboye, Owo did become a credible rival with an impressive city, imposing city walls, proud multi-layered courtyard palace, nǹkan tí mo pè ní gbàgede lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn, large marketplaces, a rich artistic culture, a powerful military establishment, an empire building ambition.
Anybody? Shut up.
Reading. You can't hear anyone, Ke. Really? Can
Hello?
anyone hear me though? I don't think I'm being heard either. Can anyone hear me? I can't hear you. Èmi ò gbọ́ yín
I'm
o.
just hearing you now.
I hear you.
Oh,
I
goodness.
just heard you now.
So everything I read you didn't hear.
I didn't.
Oh my goodness. So people can hear me now. Ọ̀dọ̀ yín ni jàre.
Okay.
You can hear me now. Did you hear what I read?
I only heard a part of it, so I was wondering what happened.
Oh, you heard some parts. Okay, somebody
Yes.
said they did. And some people said they heard a part. So basically, what that paragraph just said, Nipe, Owo was a rival to Benin, both militarily, trade, and commerce, and Okay, the empire building is where I cut out. So let me read that part for you again. It said, Owo did become a credible rival with an impressive city, imposing city walls, proud multi-layered courtyard palace, large marketplaces, a rich artistic culture, a powerful military establishment, and empire building ambitions and agenda of its own. Yeah. So you got that part now, Ayodej?
Yes.
Yes. So the point is that despite all their guns, they could not overpower Owo, and it wasn't for lack of trying. They tried many times. In fact, I just came across a piece now. So that apparently there was one big military expedition led by a war chief or a war commander called Iken, Iken,
Ike.
a Benin military commander. So nǹkan táwọn ará Ọ̀wọ̀ yẹn ṣe fún wọn ni pé they let them run around. So the Benin people had felt like they had won. They felt like, okay, I can win one. But what the Ọ̀wọ̀ people did was to go and lay ambush for them. So as the Benin's were now going back home, they wanted to maybe I want to be victorious. The Owo people now came out of that ambush and routed them. In fact, it was during that rout that Iken was killed. Now, Iken's military prowess was so much that Owo people killing him would be what would put an end to any ambitions Benin had of trying to ever attack Owo militarily again. So, yeah. All this idea of we shaking it never happened. Hopefully
I hope our people are hearing so that you can know how to deal with them when they come up again with their lies. They are always looking for young people to pay to come and distort other people's history. Now, Sister Abori says, the question we should ask these Benin people is that, to what end are they doing this on the social media? To what end? Because
I
some
don't,
of these things are
so me,
documented. In
I
fact,
think two
I was going
things.
through some of the things they have done in Department of History and International Studies near Akuba Akoko. I discovered that they have done a lot about Eastern Yoruba history. Eastern Yoruba people, our history, they've done a lot of work. And in my research, I discovered that our Binikan Lenuni, they never conquered any Yoruba towns, even in the places they are claiming today. Kò síbi tí wọ́n conquer, including that Ikale land. Kò síbi tí wọ́n conquer ńbẹ̀. Because actually in history, Benin never had any meaningful cavalry. There was no meaningful cavalry that you can compare to.
One, she
Maybe
cavalry now, forest kingdoms,
yes.
horses could not, so it had to be,
Yeah.
kí la ṣe ń pè, kí la máa ń pè, what's that one where it is men, Kade, what's that thing? When you have infantry, yes.
Yes.
So
Infantry,
it will be
yes. You
yes.
got the word.
So
Infantry.
you can't have it. In fact, that those forests where our forests they no stop Ilorin was the reason why Ilorin could not go deeply into Eastern Yoruba land. Their horses could not cope inside those forests. Yeah, so Benin did several invasions. Like they would come, the banditry type kind of thing. Those were the only times where they were able to capture anyone. But and then also they had to stop those invasions because it meant they would not be able to trade freely in Owo, and that trade was important. So they had to stop it so that Owo and Benin could have good trading relations. Trade was important to both kingdoms, and for the most part, most kingdom will not risk trading routes or they would set aside war if it means that both parties can benefit from trade.
Awori Saxon. See, these Benin people, Sherry, just the same way their ancestors were very lazy people in war. That's the same way they are today. Look at all the mouths they were making. They will show us. They will do this. The only thing, since I have come on TikTok to contend with them, the only thing they can show us is to go and be buying people, to go and be getting people to come and be telling lies. Like this brother Orumila said, that he's waiting for them to come to Owo to come and say it. Níbi táwọn ará Ọ̀wọ̀ wà pé àwọn náà wọ́n dá Ọ̀wọ̀ lẹ̀, so that they can receive part of the whooping that their forefathers received when they came to Owo. Those several times they wanted to conquer Owo, maybe they will receive such whooping. And we have been waiting for them in Ondo State since Idu-Igodo has been going about, Kenneth Obaraye has been going about. We have not seen them come and collect those places or to come and claim those places. Kankati Ewasi Palaces wa, kan wá s'Akure. Some time ago in Akure, the Eze Ndigbo of Akure went to the Deji's palace, and he got there and he said that he was also a king like the Deji, so he stretched forth his hand to shake the Deji. That was that day that they knew that Yorubas were not cowards. They beat the Eze Ndigbo, removed his cap, beat him and tore his clothes and threw him out of the palace, and locked the shops of Igbo people for 2 weeks in Akure. So I'm giving the Benin people challenge tonight. Ezomo, Kakadu, all of those people. Ojogbon Yemi with all their big mouth. Shebi una say una get mouth. Now only Lagos Ojogbon Yemi fit go dey talk that nonsense when they talk about our history. If truly you guys are men, you are up to the task. Come to any palace of Ondo State, whether Ikale land, Ondo town, all those places that you are claiming. Come there. Come and tell us. Go to Akure Palace. Go to Owo. Go and tell them that Benin founded those places and see what will happen to you. One night, àwa Ondo State kì í ṣe àwọn ará Èkó tó máa wò yín o tí wọ́n ń àlá òní kẹ́ máa run amok lórí social media látọjọ́ yìí tí wọ́n ń wo ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Yẹmí yẹn tó wọ́n tó lòun ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní ibi tó ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn tí wọn ò ti lọ fi mú ẹ̀kan ti lọ fi gbolẹ̀. We are not like that in Ondo State. Tó bá jẹ́ pé one of the schools in Ondo State ní ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Yẹmí yẹn ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n á ti arrange fún wọ́n á ti fi mú ẹ̀ gbolẹ̀ wọ́n á ti gbé lọ sáàfin kó lọ sọ nǹkan tó sọ yẹn kó lọ sọ láàfin. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, but I don't know why our people in Lagos are allowing him to have his way. Maybe some people in Lagos are behind him. That's why he's doing what he's doing. Stop it now. Maybe they are behind him. That's what. Maybe he has people who are bankrolling him in Lagos. That's why Lagosians are still looking at him like that. But I want to challenge before I go tonight. Benin people, una say una get mind. Una say una be warriors, una be descendants of warriors. Please come and show us your warring skills in Ondo State. You have been claiming Owo, claiming Ikale, claiming Ondo Town, claiming Akure. Please come down to our palaces. Àwọn wá sí àgọ̀fẹ́ wa, àwọn wá dán nǹkan rò. Tí ilẹ̀ ò bá ti ní gbé yín mì, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Tá a bá ti ní rìn yín ní òhò bí àwọn forefathers ṣe ń rìn òhò ńgbà yẹn. Kán tó dá yín padà síbi tẹ́ ẹ ti wá ní Benin tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ ti wá yẹn. Ẹni kì í ṣọmọ Ondo State ni mí. I promise you that. Go and ask the Eze Indigbo. What happened to him in Akure? Wọ́n ná tiẹ̀, wọ́n ná tẹ̀. Bó ṣe ń jù sókè báyìí náà fi hàn Jésù náà ń gbé sọ̀kalẹ̀ náà là á mọ́lẹ̀ gbám. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni láàfin ọba Akure. Go and ask Igbo people in Akure now. When Akure people are doing ọdún dúdúdú, wọ́n bí wọn dá kán sí ṣọ́ọ̀bù. Àbí amólè bí wọn dá wọn á dú gbogbo ọjà kò dẹ̀ sí kan tí wàá ṣe sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. So I won't say more than that. If truly na una get all these places wey una dey claim for Yoruba land, I dare all of you come to our palaces in Ondo. Say, do igodo. You are one of the people saying that nonsense about. I want to invite you specifically to Ondo town. In fact, I'm only tẹ̀lé ẹ lọ ààfin Ondo. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọjọ́ yẹn ló wá máa kàn gbé ẹnu ẹ̀ tó wọ́ síbí ìwà ṣe wọ́n pé wọ́n sì fún bàbá ẹ̀ lómi mu ní Benin Palace. Àwọn òun fúnyàn lómi mu lóńdó ta wọ́n á na tiẹ̀ tẹ̀ ní wọ́n á lọ já nǹkan tá a pè ní àtòrì. Àtòrì ni wọ́n á lọ wá fún yín wọ́n á na tiyín tẹ̀ ní. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ ìran kíran also with social media claiming other people's towns, claiming you people that were not wearing clothes until 1879, 1897, claiming to have colonized people are better than you, were more civilized than you in history. Oh God. You know, civilization. Yeah, go and eat meat. Go and eat meat. I actually planned that this live stream. I promised somebody that I was going to come live today to come and share our history. But the next time we meet, we are going to continue where we stopped. We are going to look at how Owo ruled, was able to defend Akoko land, even into some parts of Ekiti, Okeluse, Ifan, all those places, Imoru, Idoani, Idosi, Oba, Agopanu, all those places, what was impact on all those people and how Owo was able to maintain their power around that place. Ẹ ṣeun, oníyàn ṣeun, ọlọ́bẹ̀ ṣeun, ẹ̀yin tẹ̀sí bá wa jẹ nínú iyán àtọbẹ̀ yìí, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ ṣeun, ẹnu yín ò ní pa yín. Akú ọdún akúyèdú, let me wish you happy new year in advance. Gbogbo ìkọ̀ọ̀kan nínú wa báyìí, mo máa rí wa ní 2025. Mi ò ní fi ń ṣe àwátì. Awori Saxon, thank you for the support. Mommy Omo Batala, thank you so much, my mommy, for the support. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń ṣe in the defense of our heritage, our common heritage. God bless all of you. Mo máa rí yín lọ́dún tuntun. Happy New Year to all of you. Mommy Omo Batala, to your children, Happy New Year in advance. Awori Saxon, and to your children, Happy New Year. Factor M, my brother, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you. I won't be having any live stream until January 2025. Mo máa rí yín bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mi ò ní sunkún lórí any one of you. Ní sunkún ara wa lórúkọ Olúwa. Ó dàárọ̀ mà, ó dàárọ̀ sà, ó dàárọ̀ gbogbo ilé.
Yeah.